All right, welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at something called the flirt.
Okay.
And this is from the Selves
Yeah.
in a boxcard deck, which we've talked about a little bit before.
Yeah.
But we haven't done like a full deep dive into it. We've been kind of alluding to this idea of the flirt for a couple of episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, I think it's time.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's
Oh.
get into it. So the flirt, obviously, when you hear that word,
hmm
you're probably thinking about
Romance.
dating, romance, all that
Big
stuff.
pickup lines.
Pickup lines, exactly. But we're not talking about that
Well,
today.
no, no, no.
We're talking about something much
Deeper.
deeper.
Yeah.
And really, it's about this idea of connecting with life in a more playful way.
Yeah, I love that. It's like that sparkle in your eye.
Yeah.
That makes people feel seen and appreciated and connected to.
Exactly. And how would you kind of describe the flirt? In a nutshell, what is it?
It's that vital energy. It's that feeling of aliveness and playfulness and connection
Yeah.
that we can bring to any interaction.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be with anyone.
No, not at all. It can be with your friends, your family, even your coworkers.
That's interesting.
It's just that ability to engage with the world in a way that's light and fun and joyful.
So I'm picking up on this word energy that you keep using.
Yes.
So it's not just like a behavior. It's more like
It's an energy.
an energy. Yeah.
It's a way of being.
Okay. And I know that the Selves in a box talks about this spectrum
Yeah.
of primary and disowned selves.
Exactly.
So where does the flirt kind of fall on that spectrum?
Well, like you said, everyone has all these different selves inside of them. And some of them are more primary, meaning they're closer to the surface, they're more accessible, they're more dominant in their personality.
Hmm.
And then others are more disowned, meaning they're kind of hidden away or less developed.
Okay.
So with the flirt, it can be either primary or disowned, depending on the
Okay, so someone could have like a primary flirt
Mm.
where it's like their go-to energy.
Exactly. They're naturally flirtatious. They might be the life of the party, always cracking jokes. They love to connect with people.
Right, right. And then someone else could have a disowned flirt where they're more
Exactly.
reserved or shy.
Yeah, they might feel uncomfortable with that kind of attention. They might even see flirting as superficial or manipulative.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into what it looks like to have a primary flirt.
Okay.
So if someone is like walking around in the world with this primary flirt energy, what are some of the things that they might do?
Well, they might be very expressive with their body language. They might use a lot of eye contact, touch, smiles, gestures.
Right.
They might be very playful in their communication, using humor, teasing, wordplay. They might also be very good at making people feel special and seen.
Okay.
They're the ones who remember your birthday, who give you compliments, who make you feel like you're the only person in the room.
That sounds pretty great.
Or it can be. It can be very charming, but it can also have its downsides.
Okay, what are some of the downsides?
Well, sometimes people with a primary flirt can come across as insincere or superficial because they're so focused on the surface level interaction.
Right. They're not really interested in going deeper.
Exactly. And they can also sometimes be insensitive to other people's boundaries. They might come on too strong or misread signals.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so it's like they're so used to using this flirt energy that they don't always realize how it's affecting other people.
Exactly. And they may not even realize that they're doing it. It's just their natural way of being.
Okay, and so what about someone with a disowned flirt? What might that look like for them?
Well, for someone with a disowned flirt, they might feel very awkward or uncomfortable with any kind of flirtatious behavior. They might feel like it's not appropriate or that they're not good at it. They might even judge other people who flirt.
Oh, interesting. So they might see it as like sleazy or manipulative.
Exactly. Like they're trying to get something from you.
Okay. And why do you think someone would disown their flirting?
Well, there could be a lot of reasons. Maybe they had a negative experience in the past where they were hurt or rejected. Maybe they were taught that flirting is wrong or inappropriate. Maybe they're just naturally more introverted or reserved.
Mm-hmm. And so if someone has a disowned flirt, does that mean that they're just like doomed to be unplayful and
No, not at all.
not connected?
No, not at all.
Okay. So is there a way to kind of reclaim that flirt energy?
Absolutely. I think everyone has the potential to be flirtatious. It's just a matter of finding what feels authentic and comfortable for you.
Okay, so it's not like you have to suddenly become this
You know,
super outgoing, touchy-feely person.
not at all. It's more about finding little ways to bring that playful energy into your life.
Okay, what are some examples of that?
Well, it could be something as simple as smiling at someone, or giving them a compliment, or making eye contact and holding their gaze for a few seconds. It could be about being more present in your interactions, really listening to people and engaging with what they're saying. It could be about finding ways to have more fun and joy in your life.
Hmm. And then letting that energy spill over into your relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about bringing that sparkle back into your eyes.
Okay, I love that. So it's like you're not trying to be someone you're not.
No,
You
we're
know?
just trying to tap into this part of yourself that maybe you've been neglecting.
Right, right. And so the inner update, which is one of the sources that we're looking at, for this deep dive,
Yes.
it asks this really interesting question. It says, when did I last feel truly playful and engaged? And so why do you think it's important for us to reflect on those moments?
I think it's so important because it helps us to remember what brings us joy, what makes us feel alive. And when we can connect with that part of ourselves, it becomes so much easier to bring that energy into our interactions with others.
Right. It's like you're reminding yourself of what it feels like to be in that state.
Exactly. And then you can start to cultivate that state more intentionally.
Okay. And then the inner update also asks another really important question. It says, what fears or judgments hold me back from expressing my flirt?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think are some of the common fears that people have around this?
Well, I think one of the biggest fears is rejection. We're afraid of putting ourselves out there
Yeah.
and being vulnerable and having someone say no to us.
Right, right. We don't want to feel foolish or embarrassed.
Exactly. And I think another fear is that we're going to be seen as inappropriate or that we're going to cross someone's boundaries. Especially in today's world, there's a lot of sensitivity around those things.
Yeah. Right. And so how do we kind of navigate those fears? How do we make sure that we're not crossing boundaries, but we're also not letting fear hold us back?
Well, I think the key is to be mindful and respectful, to pay attention to the other person's cues and to always err on the side of caution.
Mm-hmm. And it's also important to remember that flirting is not about manipulation. It's not about trying to get something from someone.
Exactly. It's about connection. It's about having fun. It's about bringing joy into the world.
I love that. So ultimately, it's about using this flirt energy
Huh.
to enhance our lives and our relationships.
Exactly. And to make the world a more playful and joyful place.
Well, this has been such a fascinating conversation. I feel like I've learned so much about the flirt.
I'm glad. And about myself. I think this is something that we can all benefit from exploring.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so before we wrap up, I have one final question for you.
Okay.
If your flirt could give you one piece of advice
Mhm.
for how to approach life today, what would it say?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think my flirt would say, don't take yourself so seriously. Go out there and have some fun. Connect with people. Be playful. And most importantly, don't be afraid to let your sparkle shine.
I love that. What a great way to end this deep dive. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And for everyone listening, we hope you enjoyed this exploration of the flirt and that it inspires you to bring more playfulness and joy into your own life. Thanks for listening.